You will learn that you cannot change the way things are. They are as they are because they are. This is the way of the God self, or the energy of all. Remember, it is you and you alone who picks your own path and your own destiny in life. Sydney Banks from the book Island of Knowledge. I'm Stephen Middleton, coming to you from the Possibility Action Network. Our core values include I am, I can, I will. I am Possibility Man. Today, I want to share on the theme, Trust Your Journey of Life. But first, a reminder, if you have not traveled over to YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel, I am placing a link at this website for you to click it and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You'll get notice about our podcasts and other things that we may place on social media. Now back to our share. Trust your journey of life. Where should I start? Well, I want to start with this idea, the mystery of our existence. Have you ever considered the mystery of the existence of human life or the life of other creatures on our planet? Just think about it for a moment. We discover ourselves here. We have no knowledge of being asked if we want to come. We discover ourselves in a family with parents or someone to care for us. We discover ourselves being told at a certain age to go to school. We've been told to participate in sports or maybe play in the band in school. We've been told maybe it's a good idea to go to college. We've been told to get a job. It's like life is just great mystery that we find ourselves in all of these things that we have an opportunity to do in this life. It seems as if we are making these choices, I want to go to this particular college, or I want to play this particular sport, or I want to play this musical instrument. It seems as if we have these choices in front of us. But what if that the choice is actually made for us, or the choice is somehow made beyond us? What if life simply happens? What if life simply unfolds and we are a part of the unfoldment of life? Did you have a choice about being born, if you're listening to this video, watching this video, being born in the 20th or 21st century? More likely than not, you don't remember such a choice. You find yourself here in this mystery. You find yourself here with all of these opportunities, or perhaps with all of these obstacles, with all of these challenges. I've been pondering this for several days now, about the mystery of life, about the journey of life, about the course that we take in life. And here are a couple of things that I have focused on. The first is, do I control what shows up in my life? That is me, this person that I've come to know as Stephen Middleton. Do I really control what shows up in my life? Did I have conscious control over my parents? Did I have conscious control over where I was born, where I grew up, where I went to school? Did you have control of the things that show up in your life? Do you know, for example, exactly when you'll take another sip of water? Do you know exactly where you'll go fishing again if you enjoy fishing? Do you control the next book that you're going to read? Do you know what's going to show up for you? Speaking of books, I discovered a book that I bought a couple of hours ago on Amazon that I will be reading on my iPad, start reading on my iPad later today. It's a big book. When I woke up this morning, I did not know that this book title existed. But a few hours ago, I had a conversation with one of my friends who lives in Scotland, and she mentioned this book, and I thought, wow, that's a book that I want to read. My point is, when I woke up this morning, I had no idea that this is the book that I'll start next in my reading. Do you control what shows up in your life experience? What shows up, shows up. And of course, we as individuals get to deal with it. How do we deal with it? Of course, do we have even control over that? I have come to conclude then that the opportunity of a human being is to consider the great, what I'm calling the great acceptance. That is, once something shows up in your life experience for reasons that you cannot fathom, then you have this obligation, it seems, as far as possible, to either accept it or fight with it for the rest of your existence on the planet. It seems that there are two choices. It seems that way to me. I'm not saying that there are two choices, but it seems that way to me. So one is, you can fight what shows up and be in opposition to it, and for the rest of your life, make yourself and those around you miserable because you are challenging what shows up for you. Or maybe it's possible for the great acceptance. To accept, well, this showed up for me. I don't know why it showed up for me, but maybe there's something here for me to learn. Maybe it's a part of my journey. Maybe it's something that I get to share with somebody else in service. You know, some years ago, I began asking people older than myself, what have you learned in life? And many of these people were in their 80s and 90s, and a lot of them were shy about sharing with me what they've learned. I'm approaching my 70th birthday in just a couple of years. You know, I've been on this planet for over 6 decades. I hope that I've learned something here. And I think this is what Sydney Banks was referring to in the quote that I shared with you a moment ago. You will learn that you cannot change the way things are. You know, you could try to be in resistance to the way things are, and from my experience, create a world of misery for yourself and for others around you. He continued, they are as they are because they are. That's just the way of it. That's just the way of it. It just is because it is. This is the way of the God self, or the energy of all. Remember, it is you and you alone who picks your path and your own destiny in life. Now, Sydney Banks took us pretty deep, because what he's saying, what he's suggesting to us, and you don't have to believe this or even give this much consideration, what he's suggesting to us is that the energy of all life is who we are. That is, the energy of all life is sitting in this chair with me right now. Let's consider the mystery once again. You know, I am looking out of this body. There is a body here as I see it. You know, I can touch it. I shaved it this morning. I clothed it. And I know that I'm looking out of this body. But am I doing the seeing? Let's get serious for a moment, if we can. Am I actually doing the seeing? If you're watching this video, are you making seeing happen in your experience, or is seeing merely happening? This is the mystery of all life. You know, I don't know why things show up in the life of a human being, but we know that things will show up. Some of these things may be adversity. We may consider it to be adversarial to our existence and our experience. I know I have had adversities in my experience. And if you're on planet Earth, you probably have too, because that's just the way of it. So what do then I suggest that you consider? Just imagine taking a swim in a lake. You're going about your business, you're doing your strokes, you're swimming along the way, and all of a sudden you have a cramp in one of your legs. And you cannot paddle. You cannot continue to swim. You're in the water. You're already in the lake. What do? You can panic in the river, in the lake of life. And of course, as you panic, you may start flapping around in the water and of course, ultimately drown. Or you can say, I'm in the lake. I'm going to relax as far as possible and I'm going to flip on my back and I'm going to take myself to the shore. And then you may ask, well, what then? If I cannot swim, what do I do then? Who knows? Relax. A boat may come by and throw you a lifeline. Here is the point that I want to make here. We don't know what will show up in the life of a human being, but something will show up. And in the moment that something shows up, we'll get an idea. That has been my experience in life. Something will occur to you. Something will occur to you. When I graduated high school, I wanted an education and something occurred to me, apply to a college. After graduating college, something occurred to me, go to graduate school. And of course you have those kinds of experiences as well. Why do people have the experiences that we have in life? Maybe this is just the way the world works. I went to bed last night at nighttime. I woke up this morning, it was just before daylight, but daylight was coming. Later today, nighttime will come again. That's just the way the world works. And that's the way the world will work for you. What can a human being do? Trust. Trust your journey of life. Not my journey, not someone else's journey, but trust your journey of life, whatever it is. I am not a religious person, but something just occurred to me, and I hope you don't mind me sharing this with you. In my tradition, which is a Christian tradition, somebody said that the Christ, the Wayshower, said, I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. I will be with you always, even until the end of the world. Now, the meaning of that is something that I don't want to explore here, but whatever you are, wherever you are, I want to remind you that the source of all life is there too. I'm Stephen Middleton. I'm with the Possibility Action Network. Our core values include I am, I can, and I will. Until next time, good day